In this video, I'm going to explain Charlo versus Jaime Munguia. Talks are crumbling. Maybe Showtime can do this Hail Mary to possibly get the fight done. We'll find out more. You know, it's bad news if the fight doesn't happen, but I want to explain to you this Hail Mary full of grace that they're trying for the Charlo Munguia fight. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Listen, I looked on my YouTube analytics. About 50% are subscribed. Thank you. 50% of you are not subscribed to the channel that consumed my content in the last 28 days. So if you guys could hit the subscribe button, it takes a few seconds. Sometimes YouTube unsubscribes people. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe it slipped your mind. So here's a quick reminder before we get into today's content. Throw a like on there. Worst case scenario, unsubscribe if you don't like the content. But trust me, I got a lot of fire. Now, I'm going to jump right into it now that I've wasted some of your time. Charlo and Jaime Munguia. Will the fight happen? Talks broke up. ESPN reported it. I made videos about this. Check out my other content surrounded that specifically, but I want to do an updated video, right? And Showtime's Steven Espinoza, he responded to ESPN, who kind of broke the news that it's on the fray. PBC has allowed its own title challengers to compete on other platforms numerous times in the past, which is fact. Most recently, Sean Porter fought Terrence Bud Crawford on ESPN. Andy Ruiz fought Joshua twice on DAZN. But Showtime Steven Espinoza added this to the equation. He says, but there's one critical distinction between, you know, the Charlo fight with Munguia happening or not. Top Rank made the offer and they paid for Crawford Porter, so the fight was on Top Rank's home network, ESPN. In the case of Andy Ruiz and Joshua, Eddie Hearn, DAZN and Rematch Room made the offer and they paid for Joshua Ruiz, so the fight was on the Matchroom platform, DAZN. In this instance, with Charlo Munguia, if the fight happens, TGB made the offer, so rightfully so, the fight would be on the chosen network of them, which is Showtime, right? So ESPN said the Charlo Jaime Munguia, and the link will be in the description, deal that fell apart contained a rematch clause. In the event Charlo lost and exercised it, DAZN would own the sole broadcast rights to the second bout with Munguia. And this is obviously Showtime, Steven Espinoza, head of Showtime. They got a big announcement on Tuesday. Come back to the channel for more on that as it happens. But Steven Espinoza offered a Hail Mary, like you've seen in the title, solution. He says, simple, I got a fair solution to resolve this and get the fight that the fans want to see. As the champion, Charlo is the A side initiating the deal and paying for the fight, which means that Charlo's side, TGB Promotions, shout out to Brittany Goosen, I see you, she been working hard, chooses the network for the first fight. If, in fact, Munguia wins, then Golden Boy Munguia controls the rematch and they can take it to DAZN or whatever network they choose. Listen, that sounds like a whole lot of fair to me. Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy, I think, this is my opinion, I think they're stalling the fight out. I think if it doesn't happen, it'll be on their side, which is the Jaime Munguia side. However, I do want to note this. I personally think Jaime Munguia, he's acquitted himself like a warrior. So I'm going to give him that. And I'm going to suggest that Jaime Munguia is not the problem. See, in the situation with Ryan Garcia, I think Ryan and his team, you know, they have apprehensions about making the fight. I don't think Jaime Munguia is afraid of the fight. This is just kind of politics, and this is why. Oscar De La Hoya is trying to suggest that Showtime has to collaborate with DAZN to make this fight. And it just sounds foolish. And I talked about this. Make sure you guys follow me. I'm the king of social media when it comes to this boxing talk. And I don't agree with that sentiment, right? And I'm gonna get to a tweet. Ooh, shout out to Valerie. Yeah, shout out to Valerie. whoops. I'm gonna get to a tweet that I put earlier today, and I agree with this, what you see on the screen, Stephen Espinoza giving his Hail Mary solution, right? So I said this, we're gonna highlight it, let's say pink, pretty in pink. I said, some of y'all don't understand business and how it works. Get yourself a small business, an LLC, work some hours, preferably 10,000 plus hours like me, etc. And the bottom line is this, Showtime Boxing, they don't need to work with DAZN. They have commentators, production value. They have the A-side guy. Notice I put this before I even seen Stephen Espinoza's tweet, and he too is agreeing that Charlo would be the A-side in this equation. They're putting up the money, etc. So what does DAZN bring to the table? I said this at 3:12 p.m., you know, before I seen anybody else's tweet. Igor Stradamus strikes again, right? 3:12 p.m. And then conveniently, Stephen Espinoza said the same thing. Showtime is the one ponying up and putting the money up and trying to get the mandatory paid, you know, trying to get the mandatory a fight. So he's saying, what are you talking about? We're putting up the money. So yeah, why are we going to team up with anybody? We're going to put it on our network and conduct a fight. And like I said in my tweet, what does Showtime need DAZN for? DAZN, in my personal opinion, they have horrible commentary on their live broadcast. So Showtime already has a better announcing team. They already have better production value. They do their own in-house all access, which is like a 24/7, like HBO's 24/7 type of program. So with all that going on, what is DAZN serving? DAZN is an app that a lot of people don't have that is raising their prices. Might I add, let me say this and then I'll get back to my point. Stephen Espinoza also made it clear that no other network has made a bid. So DAZN could have offered to pay for the fight, but they chose not to. So DAZN, so I know a lot of fans, they get the truth misconstrued. They don't want to hear the truth, whatever the situation is. But people are lying and saying that, you know, it's Charlo's side, but they're the only ones that bid for this fight to happen. And De La Hoya and Golden Boy are coming out and saying, hey, you got to include our buddies at DAZN. But as I stated previously, why would they? Oh, Mick Conlon got knocked out brutally. He did a backflip. Crazy. Hope he's all right. But as I mentioned, with the whole situation, shout out to my boy Ari. He went in. He said, Oscar, y'all messed this up. As I mentioned in this tweet, y'all loved it when Canelo payday, you want payday. I know that. When he told Charlo and David Benavidez, what do y'all bring to the table? You bring me nothing. So exactly why, or tell me why, Showtime needs to do a joint venture with DAZN. The company who stole Anthony Joshua, because Joshua was on the Showtime programming, right? And then Eddie Hearn snaked him and then took him to Sky Sports / in the future DAZN UK. Why do they need to do a joint venture with that? And it's also the same company that lied and said pay-per-view is dead and said they were going to crush Showtime and put Showtime Boxing out of business in less than a year or in a year's time. Eddie Hearn, who was the front man for DAZN, he was the one talking like this. They said pay-per-view is dead, and now they're copying Showtime and UFC in the pay-per-view market. They said show would be out of here for show, and they would put them out of business. So why would you, again, you got to understand business. Would you do business with a person that tried to put you out of business? And again, they're the only ones that bid for the fight. What are we talking about? Listen, Munguia is a great fight for Charlo, but I firmly believe if this fight doesn't happen, this doesn't rest on the PBC side. They're the ones that put up the bid. So either Oscar De La Hoya, you know, wants it. And I think also you got to do what's right for your fighter. This is a exposure and opportunity for Jaime Munguia to fight for a title. What are we talking about? Only in this modern age of boxing do we have to argue and plead the case for fighters to fight for titles. Like Ryan Garcia could have fought Devin Haney, and he rather fight Timbuktu and Emmanuel Togos and, you know, things like that. You could fight straight for a title. It's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing in boxing? Is this what it's come to? Is this the modern age and era of boxing where you have a title opportunity. Like back in the day, Sugar Ray Robinson eras and past eras, it's like you would love to get a title opportunity, but now people have title opportunities and squander it. Jaime Munguia is the B-side. Jaime Munguia is the beltless guy. Jaime Munguia is not the guy with the belt. He's not the A-side, not the guy with the belt, and Showtime's putting up the money. Case closed. So De La Hoya, it sounds like he doesn't want the fight if he doesn't allow this to go through. Pressure. Shout out to Nas. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. I have now fully explained the Jaime Munguia, Jermall Charlo fallout. Subscribe to the channel. And I'm out. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation.